Welcome into a Packers defensive review against the Los Angeles Rams. The Packers had a pretty strong performance. They were on the field for 76 defensive plays. So the fact that they only gave up 2 touchdowns, they played pretty well. At the end, I will give my final thoughts, but let's dive right into the film. First play here, we're just going to take a look at Javon Bullard, one of the rookie safeties on the Packers, and they played him a lot at nickel in this game. And he's been doing quite well in run support. His coverage can still use some work, and we'll see that in some of these plays that we look over. But just a great job here in run support. He's going to knife through. Sees a lane open up, gets through. Williams cuts back, but Bullard is able to get that tackle for a minimal gain. So we saw a play from him last week. Very, very similar. Knifing through and pursuing from behind and getting the ball carrier. So well done in the run game by Bullard. Up next, we're going to have a pass breakup here by McKinney playing center field. And this is coverage by Bullard. So just good job there by McKinney. He's obviously been playing extremely well since he's come to the Packers. But a couple good things here by Bullard as well in coverage. This is just cover one. It's man. Right, so he's going to take that first guy on the inside, and he's going to undercut it. Right, so he's not going to try to play over the top, so he's going to cut under this route. Right, the route's going to be coming up over the top, and instead of following him in that path, he's going to run underneath because he knows he has a safety helping over the top. Right, and this is just good recognition from McKinney, who can play eyes on the QB, sees the ball, and is able to make a play on it. So excellent job by the secondary there. All right, next play, I want to look at the difference between, we've got Edgerrin Cooper and Quay Walker. Both of them are going to have eyes in the backfield, and it's going to be a play action. And I just want to see if you can notice what is different in both their drops. And we end up getting a completion there, a big gain. But we'll go back to the very noticeable difference in coverage by Cooper, who is a rookie, and Walker, who is a veteran in the league. Right? Of course, everyone here is on vision defense, but one difference between Walker here and Cooper is you can see he's planning on looking at the concept, right? So he can take a man and carry him. Right? And that's what he's going to be able to do. However, we've got Walker, who is eyes to the QB, doesn't know where these routes are going to be going. Right? So he's not going to get enough depth to stop this kind of deep dig route. And it's just going to be a big gain. Right? He tries to jump. The timing there by Stafford is good. And they're able to get a big completion. So Cooper is able to cut off one of these routes simply by turning and looking at the concept. Obviously, I'm not sure what the play call is and what they're asked to do, but it's a very noticeable difference in coverage ability and coverage instinct by Cooper and Walker here. Next play, we've got a big run by the Rams. And I think this is just blocked well up front. So I don't think it's necessarily anyone in the front seven. But we do have a force player that is responsible for containing, right? And that's going to be usually it's the corner or it's a box safety that's meant to force things back to the inside, right? Because you're all alone on the outside. You've got all these guys in the middle. So don't let them get outside. Don't let them break contain. And you'll be fine. But on this play, Quay Walker shoots a gap, right? Does a good job. I think he was probably meant to blitz on this play anyways. Is not able to get across. You've got Colby Wooden who gets double teamed right here. Right, and because he's getting double teamed, they get good leverage. But Stokes follows this receiver who's blocking down to the safety. Right, and because he comes inside from out, right, that's going to give this lane for Kyren Williams to bounce it outside. Right, Stokes did not have a great game, and we'll see some of his coverage as well. So I'm not too sure what his future is going to be in Green Bay after this season. Thought this was a pretty cool scheme from the Rams. Ends up being a big run here. But this is essentially a double trap. And you're going to see that from the offensive line. Right, you're going to have two pullers. You're going to have the guard here that's going to pull out. Right, he's going to let this guy get upfield and he's going to meet him. And then you're going to have this guy get upfield and he's going to get pushed out as well. So it allows these offensive linemen to head upfield and get to the second level, and that's going to create a lot of space. So it's not anything that the Packers did wrong here. Right? Clark gets upfield. That trap, it's a design. They want you to rush upfield because that's going to open up some lanes. Right? And you see both of those offensive linemen now, second level, getting blocks. Right? You got a ton of second level blocks here. So that's going to create a ton of space. And he's able to get an easy first down. So just good play design there by Sean McVay. All right, here we've got a good rep by both Kenny Clark and Keyshawn Nixon. We're going to get a lock coverage up here. That's just going to be man. And then because you've got three receivers down here in a very, very tight lineup, tight split, you're going to get some sort of match with these defenders. Right, so they're going to match up on however these guys release. Right, so if they release in different ways, then their coverage responsibilities are going to be different. But we're going to just focus on Nixon up at the top, and then we got Kenny Clark as well, who's going to get some decent pressure, which is going to force an earlier throw by Stafford. All right, so he's going to get some pressure in the face. Stafford throws it. And Nixon gets chest to chest, doesn't make contact with the receiver, and ball hits him in the back. So that's a very, very clean man rep. So really well done by those two players on this play. Next play, it's almost like NFL coaches watch film. You're going to have a motion here. Atwell's going to get set. And a motion again. He's coming back across. And then you just do a wide receiver end around. Look familiar? It's almost like we saw that against the Vikings. Here you're going to see Gary. What do you think he does? Is he going to come upfield and play contain? Or is he going to crash? Right, option 1 or option 2? And obviously it's going to be option 2. All right, he's going to crash. He's going to see that motion. He's going to be unable to make a play here on that jet sweep. But McKinney's able to get a tackle before he gets a first down. So, again, they're seeing what Gary was putting on film when these jet sweeps are happening, when these motions are happening. He's just playing kind of in between the two, even though it's showing outside zone. So I'm not sure what he's trying to do there, if he's trying to pursue down the line and catch the running back from behind. But he is just completely ignoring that jet sweep motion. And it's hurting the Packers. There have been a ton of complaints about the Packers pass rush, but this is kind of why, right? Let's look at the pass protection here. How many rushers do we have? We've got 4. All right, you got 4 rushers. You've got 1 that's going to be stunting. So that original pressure, right, is heading into the tight end. So McVay knows that they like to stunt. Right, so he's going to use a tight end here, knowing that Gary's not going to come upfield, but instead he's going to be doing that stunt back inside. So he's just going to do that check, and he's going to release, right? And we're going to have something similar happen over on this side where Williams is going to check and release. So he's just slowing down that edge. You essentially have a 7-man protection here with the offensive line and the tight end and the running back against a 4-man rush. So it's not really the Packers' fault that they're not able to get pressure. All right, if teams are setting up protection well, of course they're not going to get to the quarterback. They're outnumbered, which they have been quite often because we haven't seen a ton of blitz from Hafley. There's, good reason why there's not a lot of pressure. And here you're actually going to get some pressure. This is just going to be a blitz here with Cooper looping off the edge, able to get that sack. All right, and this helps because you've got the two guys on the outside, Van Ness lining out wide, right? If he's out here wide and he just slants on the inside, right? They slant on the inside. The O-line's natural reaction is, okay, we got to pinch a little bit. We got to slide with that, right? And because of that, that's just going to open up this outside loop, and Cooper is just going to get in there for a sack. Uses that athleticism, able to get a hand on the QB, gets an arm on him, able to take him down, puts him out of field goal range. All right, this play, we're going to focus on these two guys here. It's Bullard and Walker. Not sure whose responsibility this is. I would imagine it's probably Bullard based on the rest of the coverage. But we're going to see play action. They bite hard. And that tight end is able to slip out. All right. And he's just wide open. So this is a broken coverage. People's eyes got caught in the backfield. Not sure whose responsibility it is to follow that. It's most likely Bullard. But his eyes get caught in the backfield after the play action. Forgets that he has a responsibility. And you get a big play as a result. Not going to break this one down, but this is just a great play by Enagbare there on the bottom. All right. Good first contact by Van Ness. All right. He does what he's supposed to. He wraps him up. And then Enagbare is going to come in with that hand, knock the ball out. All right. And there's going to be a major reaction. And then right at the end here, right, you can see McKinney already pointing. It's our ball. It's our ball. And then he sees the ball roll out, and he just picks it up and goes. Easy fumble recovery for McKinney to pad the stats a little bit. Just kind of clean it up there, making sure that the Packers maintain possession. But Packers have been doing a great job of forcing turnovers, and that's just another one of those plays. And speaking of being a turnover machine, we've got McKinney again. We've got cover one across the board. We got man. This is a robber. You're going to have the other safety that's going to come down and play a rob position. And then you've got McKinney that is playing that post safety position. So we can see man coverage, right? We get some pressure in the face, right? You've got this loop here up at the front. Stafford decides to let it rip. And this is just going to be an easy pick for McKinney. This route isn't very far from the middle of the field. It's in between the numbers and the hash, right? Ball ends up just outside the numbers. So it's not a very difficult play for the safety to make, but McKinney is in position to make it happen. And McKinney is going to be very close to getting another pick here. Again, playing that middle of the field, all the way on the far right. You get a play action. Quay Walker is going to see the underneath route, and he's going to step up. So Stafford sees that he's got a potential shot here to 86. All right, so he's going to take that shot, but he lets the ball sail. All right, if he flattens him out there, that's probably a little bit of an easy completion, but he lets it go high, and McKinney gets very, very close to another interception. Here we've got a great play by Nixon. Nixon is great against these screens and in run support and on the blitz. Right? His coverage is, inconsistent, but this is just a great job recognizing you've got this motion. They're just going to set up this screen. Right? He sees that there's an offensive lineman running towards him. Ball is in the air. He's going to break before that lineman can get to him and make initial contact, and then that's going to be cleaned up by Cooper. So great job by Cooper there, coming in, cleaning it up, and excellent job by Nixon for making that initial contact, getting a play that for a loss of yards. All right, here we've got one of the few times Packers bring pressure, bring 6, and Carl Brooks is able to get there, but this stopped a massive play. All right, so if Stafford is able to anticipate this, he should be able to see this. He's looking off to the left, though. And I think he's going to be late seeing this. I think his eyes get caught in the pressure here. Right? And he isn't able to get his feet reset in time to hit this route. I think he's recognizing this at the moment. You've got this in-breaking route. You got the corner that's outside leverage, not able to make a play on this. And I just don't think he can get his feet set in time. All right, Brooks is able to come around the end and stop that big play. That would have been a first down for the Rams if Stafford is able to get that off. All right, so that's Stokes in coverage. Again, tons of separation when Stokes was in coverage. So hopefully he's able to turn things around, but it's not looking great. And that's what we'll focus on the next few plays, right? I'll just put a circle around Stokes. That way you guys can keep an eye on him in coverage, right? There's going to be a few plays back to back to back here. 3 plays that we'll look at with Stokes in coverage. Just gets beat here, right? Slips, stumbles, not able to recover. It's just a simple out route. I don't think the receiver does anything too special here. Just has a hard stop, plants, and is able to get out. So I think it's just Stokes' positioning here. His hips are opened up already. That receiver's pushing vertical, gets his hips opened. So as soon as he plants, right, he's lost all of his leverage. And a good throw, good catch there by the Rams. And now again, we got Stokes up here at the top of the screen. Let's play this through. And again, these are consecutive plays. He's just been beat on a deep out. So he's playing a little bit conservative. I think he's playing passive here. So you can see that separation at 5 yards. He's just run this deep out on me. I've got to play back. I got to be ready for it. And now he's just going to do an in. All right, that's good recognition by the head coach as well. Recognizing that you've set up this corner and he's just attacking Stokes at this point in the game. And it's a big gain for the Rams. And the last play that we'll look at, Stokes here up at the top. Again, his feet just aren't under him. And he's going to get beat. So that is a well-run route there by Robinson. Gives him a nice slide step, vertical, able to get his body weight shifted. His feet are outside his body frame, right? And you're just not going to recover. Right? Tries too hard to recover, bear crawling. But in the red zone, you make one mistake like that, you know it's a touchdown. Right? Stafford at QB, he's not going to miss those. So Stokes just targeted consistently on this last drive where they were just able to drive down the field and get an easy score and tighten up the hearts of some of these Packers fans. And then we've got 2 plays that we'll finish with, both focusing on Williams. Evan Williams playing safety. And I really like this setup that we had. Nixon as an outside corner, obviously missing Jair. He's playing in the slot in this play. But throughout the game, you had Bullard playing in the nickel. You had Nixon playing outside. So watch Williams on this play in particular, and it's going to be the same exact play by the Rams in these last couple drives, and he's just going to be able to recognize it. So this is the first one that he doesn't recognize, right? You've got this motion where Tutu Atwell is coming from outside. They're going to make a bunch, and then he's going to slip through. So it makes it confusing for a defense on who is responsible for what, right? So Williams sets up, right? This is just play design as well, right? If he's setting up outside leverage, then you're going to have this receiver that's going to rub a little bit or get in the way, and it opens up that underneath route. So he's able to make contact before the sticks, but gets carried until the first down marker. Now McVay goes back to the same play. You're going to see that same motion, same exact play. Williams playing a little bit further up in this one. All right, this is a 4th down, and this is going to be that play that kind of seals the game. All right, same exact play. That underneath route, and Williams recognizes it. All right, so he's able to get a hand on it. All right, stop that 4th down completion, and that's your game. So kind of brave of McVay to show them the same play and the same drive, right? After it worked once. But I get it. You're attacking a rookie, right? You're attacking this rookie safety thinking you'll be able to get freebies. But Williams just makes a great play and ends the game. All right, so that's going to do it for the defensive breakdown. Packers, they do have some depth concerns at cornerback. I'm liking the rookie safeties, liking McKinney. So it's really just the cornerback depth that I'm a little bit worried about. Still have a limited pass rush, but again, we saw the Rams did a ton to prevent a pass rush, and they were still able to get to Stafford a few times in this game. And the turnovers, right? As long as they continue to make turnovers, Packers defense is going to continue to perform well, and it's going to keep them in games. So we have another big test next week against Arizona. I'll have my preview coming out later this week, so stay tuned for that. And if you guys enjoy this type of content, please subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and I'll see you in the next video.